Hello, I'm Min Kobayashi, and today I'm going to talk about the series that I have completed. This is in part to motivate me to finish the series that I have not finished because I didn't realize I've only finished 11 series that I can find. There's probably more that I've finished like as kids and stuff or before I Goodreads and I just can't remember. So let's start. I have Dragons in Our Midst. During King Arthur's time, the dragons were being hunted and they were forced to become human. They just only decided to have children like 1,000 years later, and their children are like young teenagers and trying to hide the fact that one of them has wings and one of them can breathe fire. And it's cool, it's adventurous. I read it a long time ago, but I did enjoy it. And The Dragons in Our Midst has 4 books. And Green Gables. I know I talk about this a lot, but I do love it. There's 8 books, which a lot of people think there's only one. It follows an imaginative orphan who deals with pressures against her, as well as late 1800s like society rules for women and education, and she's an all-around heroine. Like, I love her. It follows her, she grows up, she goes to college, she gets married, she has children. It follows her daughter in World War I, which is super awesome. I have The Seasons of the Heart by Jeanette Oke. I can still remember going downstairs. My parents didn't have a lot of books. They mostly had children's books, and I was, I think, like 12 or 13, and I was like, I need to be able to understand what a man thinks. I found this book, which happened to be a love story from a guy's point of view, and I read it. And then I read the rest of them. It follows a boy who is trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. It's set in the 1900s, which is kind of the era that I wanted to read in because at the time that was mostly what I was writing. I really enjoy it when I read it 9 years ago. My Dear Percy Jackson series, a quintet of books talking about a 12-year-old to 16-year-old boy who finds out he's a Greek god and is freaking awesome. I have also read the quintet of the second series of this, which starts with The Lost Hero. This is a story that Greek and Roman gods come together, and it's awesome. I've also read the 5 books in the Lunar Chronicles. I absolutely love this as well. It follows fairy tale stories that is set in space as well as just science fiction-ish stuff. The first one is about a cyborg who's Cinderella, so who doesn't want that? This series I love. This is 7 Realms. I talk about it a lot because it's not as well loved. What happens in these 4 books is it follows a former street lord who is named Hans Alistair and the princess of a queendom named Reza and Amaria. You're probably thinking, wow, this girl hasn't read like very many classic books that every person who likes reading has, so here you go. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I have read a classic teen story. If you don't know what this is, it's a dystopian about when children are sent to murder each other, because who doesn't want that? But also has some great thematic critiques of society and communism. Firelight by Sophie Jordan. This is about a girl who's also a dragon who is kicked out of her clan because of stuff that I can't remember actually at this time and falls in love with a human boy. Sounds familiar? Probably. But when she gets excited or aroused or anything like that, she turns into a dragon, so it leads to cool stuff and lots of dragon description. I read it a long time ago. The Chronicles of Narnia. My love. If you don't know what it is, it follows several children that go between different worlds and explore those worlds and have epic adventures, and it has one story that follows people from their own world having an epic ones and talking beasts. Most people don't describe classic books, but I still will. Last but not least, The Protector of the Small by Tamara Pierce. This is a series that follows a girl who is the first woman who's actually allowed to be a knight in this land. It deals with sexism. It is the only series that I think I've ever read that deals head-on with sexual assault. I love it. You should read it. As an honorable mention, the prequel to this series, The Song of the Lioness, I've read all but the last like 150 pages of it because I DNF'd it when I was like 13. That series is almost complete. I read mostly standalones, as well as so many series that are in part. Happy reading and writing and all the adventures that you may have.
Well, son, at last we see each other plain. Monsieur le Maire, you wear a different chair.